back. Another session. Something not right.
The void, but somehow different this time.
Make your way through the void. Strange presence.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned your father into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Coldwyn had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
Am I dreaming? If not, how is Delilah doing this?
I told you. You're older. Perhaps next year.
You said that last year. Jessamine is younger than me, and she's a court every day.
Just listen. Well, it's complicated. You'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year. I promise.
Jessamine and I played games in the tower, but at night I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good. Next year I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep.
I didn't forget.
Would you like to tell me who did?
We were just playing.
Young lady Jessie. What is your account?
It was her. Delilah's lie. She broke it.
Saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn.
My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Your sentence is served and you'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
It's hard to know whether my dear old aunt is telling the truth or not.
You can change difficulty settings at any time.
When I was young, the Loyalist conspiracy that kidnapped me also took Anton Sokolov. They brought him to the pub where I was being held and locked him in a cage meant for dogs. And you know what? Sokolov laughed at them. He taught me lessons and told me funny stories. He seemed immortal. His mind shaped our age. That's changed. The old man I rescued, he doesn't talk much. He eats what we give him, groans in his sleep, coughs out blood. I thought he'd tell me the secret to defeating Delilah and saving the Empire. But I'm not even sure he knows where he is.
Ah, he just needs a bit of rest.
I'm with you, even in the void. If only I could do more.
Mother? That wasn't a dream, was it?
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
No. She's the one who orchestrated the coup.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end. Soon.
Am I back in the real place? Yeah, I think so. Travel on. So we got some entries in here in how I long day in Dunwall, the Pageant Road, the Clockwork Mansion, and now the Boyle Conservatory. Sokolov is safe. I rescued Sokolov. The man spent years serving my family, educating me in both intellectual subjects and bawdy humour. And now a small part of what I owe him has been repaid. I'm just sorry I can't offer him more comfortable accommodations. The dreadful Whale, dank and cramped as it is our home for now. He's been living here with Megan for years, but in his current condition I wish we could make him more comfortable. I was able to stop Kirin Jindosh. His weaponized mind won't be a threat now. His thoughts scattered and his memories destroyed. By his own device, no less. When Sokolov is feeling better, maybe I'll have an opinion on whether I did the right thing or not by not killing him. Anyway, it's a relief to know the last Clockwork soldiers remaining in the Empire are the only ones there will ever be. Delilah in the void. I dreamed of Delilah. No, this was more than a dream, it was in the void. Somehow Delilah brought me there. I don't know if she was showing me the true past or a fabrication. I have so many questions, but how do I sort the truth from the lies? There's a lot of law, findings, audiograms, law. Now I've got a sneeze coming. Thank you. It's something I should say to your face, but that's hard for me. Thank you for what you did bringing Anton back. What would I have done without him pottering around the ship, mumbling and stroking his greasy beard? I wanted to find him on my own, but hearing what you went through, I'm impressed. Anyway, enjoy this bottle from the Captain's Reserve. Good stuff. Megan. So that would be the wine. Now I want to check. What bone charts I've got. I'm not sure I want this one equipped. When you take damage, a significant portion is instead subtracted from mana. Swim speed slightly faster. Maybe replace that so I've got spirit water in here. You can unlock more slots. And my power is currently 0 runes. Okay, so nothing to spend right now. I got dark vision, greater dark vision, and then under here I got a domino, and I haven't tested it yet. Right. Ah, yeah, so we can drink. That restores mana. Without having to use a potion. So I need to confer with my allies.
For a man of his age, Sokolov's making better progress than I would have expected.
Good to see you're still with us. Thank you for helping, Anton.
Sokolov's not the only one making a rapid recovery. I'll be good enough to leave soon. There's a lot to do. Of course, unless the Duke falls, he'll undo my best efforts here.
Then we'll have to make sure Duke Luca Abel doesn't overstay his welcome.
Karnaka's key leaders are flawed, for certain. After all this is settled with the Duke, and the time of the coup has passed, whichever ones are left standing could change things here. Consider that, as you come face to face with the Duke's remaining associates.
I appreciate your thoughts on the matter, Alexandria.
I've read these before. I understand that you cannot see patients in Adamir anymore and that it's too dangerous to go back to your apartment. I'll arrange something. We'll find you a safe place to hide and give free consultations as you suggested. Any more chores to do? fairly sure I've read that one. Here we are, the main room. Stun mine sitting there. No. Next up.
Jindosh wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Emily did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
Delilah Copperspoon, or is it Caldwin?
So this might be a new one, I'm not sure. Begun work on a canvas. I have no name for it yet. Reflection on my journey to the continent. Thought this is the introduction here. Pause to read.
The Empress has risen.
Megan, I've thought of a few things I need when you go into Karnak. I'd get them myself, but you know what it's like for these old bones to walk so far. As this is from Anton. I need a smaller shirt. Seems everything I own falls off me now. And you're right, I suppose I need some soap and a good hair tonic for my beard and what's left around the sides of my skull. A bit of bread and a few shrimp will get me through most days, but don't forget the wine.
A peaceful sleep, I hope. Nothing like the pillows at Dunwall Tower, made of goose feathers.
Da-da-da-da. Whale oil, liquid power.
Sit down when you want to talk.
I can start breathing with Megan or with Anton.
Anton, when I brought you back, you could barely speak. But it's been 3 days.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and my father is missing. This is Anton Sokolov, the greatest mind in the Empire.
No, Emily. Megan is right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Sarkonos, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge that I saw things Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
She's the curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous, as obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to.
I see. Dear veterans, due to an alarming increase in the mite population, and with the full knowledge and approval of Duke himself, the Royal Conservatory will remain closed for the foreseeable future. Our apologies.
One of the more elaborate structures in Karnaca, closed to the public. More of the Duke's questionable rulership. It'll be good to see the Royal Conservatory, even if it's closed to the public.
Yes.
There's a spark in your eyes. Something other than hate, which surprises me given all that's happened.
Meet me at the skiff when you want to set out for the Royal Conservatory.
Alright, so we're in progress. I've spoken to them. Now meet at the skiff. Megan Foster knows a discreet spot. Oh. Ready. New entry for the Royal Conservatory. Ashworth is my next target. I only knew her by reputation. Born to the Dunwall aristocracy, she's a sculptor and the curator of the Royal Conservatory in Karnaca. One of Delilah's lieutenants may be her closest confidant. They share a taste for the occult. While being held, Sokolov overheard conversations about a strange device being constructed under Ashworth's supervision, the Oraculum. I think an after-hours visit to the conservatory will give me the answers I need. Ready to go? Go.
We'll take the skiff. I don't want to bring the dreadful whale any closer than we have to. There is a small dock in Syria Gardens, close to the conservatory. That's as far as I can take you. Ready to go?
Ready.
Yes, let's go.
So the Royal Conservatory it is. Brianna Ashworth must be eliminated. Coven witches develop different sets of powers, learn to identify them by armor color, and use this knowledge in combat. Combat's meant to be a stealth run.
There will be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth. from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Maggie. See you soon.
So, arrived. Granite Ashworth may have records about what happened 3 years ago with Delilah. Vice Overseer Byrne has a hidden outpost near the docks. He may have useful information about Ashworth. My objectives: to eliminate Ashworth. Too dangerous. To enter the Royal Conservatory. Uncover Ashworth's role. Search the office. Optional, find out what Byrne knows. Just have a little look down here. I see a point. Well, I don't know if I'm still here. Well, the game minimized because my router went off. Oh, darn. Well, if I am still here, it's break time anyway. See you in the next part.